You want to talk basketball, football, baseball, wrestling, UFC, boxing. You want to talk sports. You want to talk music. You want to talk hip hop. Real hip hop. Classic hip hop. The history and the culture of hip hop. And you want to talk candidly. You want to hear the real. You want us to keep it 100. You are in the right place. Welcome to the Candid Court. Starring your man Coach Bar and your man Mr. Lewis. Bringing it to you real, bringing it to you right. Sit back, strap in, comment, get busy, baby. It's the Candid Court.
What's happening? What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? What's going on?
What's good, people?
It's your main man, Coach Fa, in the building.
And it's your boy, Mr. Lewis. How y'all doing this evening? Let's get it popping.
Let us get it popping. So what's good, man? Toast to you, brother Monty. Tasty beverage, grown folk time.
Yes. Yes, for folks that do know me, this is a very rare occasion. I quit drinking about 3 years ago. And
yeah, he found it.
Yeah.
But he didn't find it. This is not permanent. This is just for the night. We're going to do it like that.
Indeed. It's like a celebration.
It is a celebration. It's a celebration. Hey, y'all. Really excited. Really glad that you guys are tuning in. We got a really fun show for you guys tonight. We're definitely going to chop it up a bit about what happened so far this week in the NFL, what's really going down with these NBA playoffs, which is real nuts right now. You know, we've got a great topic for you later on with the hip hop segment. We're going to talk about our top 15 DJs all time. I'm looking forward to that conversation.
Yes.
And also, we got a special guest coming up for you today later on. My main man, Chris LeBron, the owner and proprietor of the Off the Ball Network, also the host of the Off the Ball podcast. He's doing great work, busy things, and I can't wait to have him on. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the first segment. All right, well, so. What are your thoughts on your? I know your Steelers got my Giants. I know.
I like that game. I will say, as usual, the Steelers, they always start off kind of rusty. It was never the perfect game. It's never a perfect game in the first week, especially. But I'm just glad that Ben didn't get hurt. He is getting older, and like a couple other maturing quarterbacks in the league, it's getting to that point to where if he gets hurt one more time, or at least if it's a serious injury like that, he may have to cash in his chips and maybe look at coaching or sportscasting.
When it looked like he hurt his knee or his ankle or something, he was hobbling early in the first. I was like,
"Oh, yes." But yeah,
speaking of bad injuries, let's talk about these kickers. What is up with these Titans kickers, man? What's going on with the kickers in the league this year, man? One game, y'all got one job. One job. I mean, if you miss one, I'm with you. Stuff happens, I had a cramp. I was thinking about my baby mama. Something happened. But don't miss 3, fam. 3.
Yeah.
How you miss 3? How you still got a job after that? That's like me going to my job at work, messing up like 3 months in a row, like every day, just flat out no. And then they be like, "Oh, you're fired. How come?"
I feel you. Good point. Man. Yeah, there's no explaining that one. It's like, I guess, watching a train wreck. You don't want to see it, but you can't look away.
Nice segue. Aaron Donald. Listen, I know I got my thing about the Cowboys, but yo, he destroyed the Cowboys. Like by himself, yo. I was watching like replays this morning. Yo, there was a play. He had number 70 and number 73 on the offensive line. He moved both them jokers out the way, made the left, and still hit the quarterback.
Wow.
I'm so glad I got him in fantasy.
He's looking like Madden out there, huh?
Yo.
Man.
Yeah, I know. I did the Atari joystick. Sorry.
Hey, but I get it. It was the hit stick. It was the hit stick.
Yeah. I mean, they gonna hit me up. Oh, see, I told you. Oh,
hey, we seasoned.
I got paprika right.
Word.
Yeah, but it was fun. The Browns and Cincinnati is tomorrow. Wouldn't it be hilarious if Joe Burrow put it on Baker?
Yeah.
If Baker's supposed to be his mentor, that's what's hilarious to me. Why did you choose Fat as your mentor, bro?
I don't understand Ohio teams. But I guess it's because, you know.
Yeah. Stiller. Yeah, I see you got all the Stillers up this time. Yeah, I
yes,
like
sir.
the background. Yeah,
bang, Stiller gang.
Yo, but why y'all got that the life uniform? What's
Hey, I don't know. It's something
Yo,
about
it look like that's the Gungan boss. Just jokes, brother.
Hey, get them off. Hey, it's not our favorite jersey. As a matter of fact, I think they retired it for good. I call it the Killer B jersey.
Yo, I was gonna say WWF style, like whoa.
Yeah. But if I'm not mistaken, I think it's something based on the, you know, the leather helmet era.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. There's history to that when like the time of life when that was cool to wear.
Yeah, and then probably it was long sleeve and all that. You know.
Yo, they probably had knickerbockers and all that. They had the socks all the way up playing football. Wow.
Burlap cleats.
You said burlap cleats. You stupid, bro. All right, so what's up with these NBA playoffs, man?
Interesting. I'll say one thing. Mr. George better stay off the internet for a while because they are cooking him as we speak. Like, oh my.
Yeah, every Clipper's getting cooked right now, man.
Yeah, but it's like Mr. George, they saving a special recipe for him. You know what I mean?
Man, barbecue chicken.
He was just like, man.
But hey, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? You can't have a performance like that in a game 7.
Exactly.
But that goes for Kawhi too, 14 points. What are y'all doing? Talk about we need leadership. You need to put the ball in a basket. Y'all gonna pay millions of dollars to put the ball in a basket. If guys ain't hitting shots, you the leader, take the ball, do your thing.
Exactly.
And to lose like that, like what was it, like 113-89, something like that. To lose like that, yo.
And to blow a 3-1 lead.
Dude. That's just really uncalled for. I mean, it's just not. Unfortunately, I do hear the Twitter buzz about Doc Rivers' job, but I never, ever want a person to lose their job. No. But they got to figure something out. You know, you got powerhouse players. I know 1 year you ain't supposed to win it all in 1 year. It's not magic. You know, chemistry is a real thing. You know, but I could see if it went 7 and these little young Thundercats just took it over. Okay, if it was like 3-3, but to go 3-1, you're showing these kids why you guys are who you are, and then all of a sudden you all forgot who you were.
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's crazy. You know what I mean? Now, Boston, Miami, that's looking like that's going 7.
Yeah.
You know, the first game was an overtime. I think every game just might be an overtime with them.
Yeah, and it seems, Mr. Butler and the Heat are a surprisingly better team than a lot of people anticipated earlier in the season.
Yo, he got those little whippersnappers. Yeah, I said Thundercats, Young Bucks, and whippersnappers. I'm having a ball with this right now. Well, those old young boys out around here in the Miami, they could really, they know about a peach basket. I'll tell you that.
You ain't never lied, boy.
Yeah, see, I knew. You knew. Yep, we know, good. We know, boy. I tell you, we know. Nah, but Jimmy Butler really got them young guys clicking. He got them doing their thing. They Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero were really stepping up. Like, I hope they don't fade in like 2 years, but right now they're really doing their thing. But I do think at the end of the day, the youthful exuberance and the youthful confidence wears down when the games get really, really hard and slow and sloggy and stuff like that. And that's where the veteran teams should come out
Yeah,
on the top.
yeah,
At least
yeah.
should. So far, a lot of things that should haven't. So, but it's been fun. The bubble has been fun. You know, I
Yeah.
can't say anything bad about that. The bubble has been a good time.
No
So,
arguments here, brother.
you know, I feel you, man. So I tell you what, I see Chris LeBron in the building. He's ready to go.
All
So
right.
we gonna wrap this segment up, and after the commercial break, we gonna come back with more Candid Corner with your man Coach Bob, Mr.
And
Lewis,
yeah.
and special guest Chris LeBron.
Straight out of Endor. Brand new line of Ewok apparel and toy merchandise from the makers of Star Nords and the people who created in the back of their minds that Last Jedi nonsense. Holla.
Yeah, I've been having fun. That's what it is. All
Yo,
right,
I like that. May get one for myself. Yeah.
yo, that's what entertainment, enterprising. This is what we do, man. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce the owner, operators, main proprietor, boss man, host, podcaster, main man himself. Chris LeBron. What's happening, good sir?
Good evening, sir.
What's going on, guys? How's everything?
So far, so
great.
good, man.
Good.
Having some fun, drinking some soda.
Right, just the soda, right?
For the kids.
There we go. Gotta keep it PG.
We love the kids.
Gotta keep them sponsors, right?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? or get them.
There you go.
Yo. So anyway, as I was telling the wonderful studio audience here, you are the proprietor, the main man behind the Off the Ball podcast and network. I'm a part of the network. Mr. Williams, Mr. Lewis is a part of the network. I got excited. I don't know where Mr. Williams came from. We keeping it.
Okay, it's my mother's maiden name, so it's like, get out of my head.
Yo, channeling. Yes, and I actually knew that. So there we go. But no, I mean, we got Couch Coach. We got like there's like 10, 12 of us, man. There's a bunch, man. It's a beautiful thing. Can you tell us about that? Dive in, brother.
Yeah, so I'll start how I got the podcast started. It started, I would say, maybe about a little bit over a year and a half ago. And it just started like, I've always loved sports. I went to school for sports, got my degree in sports management, so okay. Sports is my thing. I did some agent stuff, around like 2012, try to be an agent. It's hard.
Nah, I hear that.
I can
imagine. It's definitely hard. But like I said, it was definitely hard trying to get in that field. But as time went on, I just said, you know what? I love talking sports, and we do it on the reg, right? You do it on the regular, like
exactly with your friends all the time.
Right? Yeah, I do it. You do it at work. You do it, our gatherings. and I like to think that I know a little bit, about sports, is the ins and outs, especially with the whole sports management background, for school and stuff, and getting my degree in that. So I just said, you know what, let's go for it. Let's start a show. And I was very timid at first because I don't like hearing myself talk. Like, that's why I hate editing my shows, because I hate hearing myself talk. But I just went at it and just said, let's do it. So I started it, and I literally just had my computer, and I just spoke into my computer. And the first couple shows, I mean, like a lot of people, you listen to your first couple shows and you're like, whoa, damn, that's trash. It's trash. I got
my first show. Okay.
And just like trying to figure it out, like how do I actually like produce a show? Like,
right.
There's so much more that goes into a podcast than just talk about whatever your subject is, right?
Right.
Exactly.
There's making sure the transitions are right, making sure you know what you're talking about, making sure there's not a lot of dead spots, all that stuff, editing after
exactly.
There's just so much more than people just think about. Oh, you do a show and that's it.
Turn on the mic and you go.
It's literally like a whole day process, like you guys know.
Absolutely.
Like, show, like, it's just not you record a show, that's the easy part for some people, and the hard part is everything else, promoting and editing. So figuring all that out, and then I finally got myself a mic, but I wasn't consistent at first. I was like, I would do a show, and then I wouldn't do a show for like a month. Then it would turn into like 2 months, and then
I know that.
with work and all that, and I was traveling a lot. I was traveling far, 2.5 hours to work and stuff. It was just I had no time. By the time I got home, I was shot. So I actually moved closer to my job. When I moved closer to my job, which is like, instead of 2.5 hour drive to work, it was 20 minutes. So now I have more energy, and so I said, you know what? Around December, I said, you know what? When I moved to where I live now, I said I'm going full go with it. So I just went full go, and I just, and like anything, you put effort into anything, and you'll see results, right? And that's what happened. I did a couple shows, and I'm like, okay, you see a little traction here. Your show does a nice number here, and then I'm like, okay, now I got to take it to the next level. Now I got to see if I can get guests on the show. And my first guest was actually Couch. Couch was my first guest. Couch and Jay Stevens were my first guests, and I got them on the show. Yeah, got them on the show, and then that show did good. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I'm not someone who likes to bother people to like, oh, come on my show. I'm like, but someone told me, he's like, hey man, in order to if you want this to be something, you got to just go at it, and don't be afraid to get rejected, right?
Right.
And I just went at it, and I just hit up people, and I would get some journalists and all that, and then when they took off is when I started getting like dudes that were going to go to the NBA, possibly NBA prospects, and I was like, oh, okay. I hit up one guy because I saw someone had interviewed him, so I said, hey, let me give it a shot, Hit him up. He's like, yeah, man, let's do it. He was hyped. I was like, oh, okay. Hit him up. He did one. Then it led to another, because another guy saw that I interviewed him. That led to another, and it's just like a domino effect. And then I interviewed like 6 dudes. And I was like, oh. So, and then that's when things started really going off. Like the show really started taking off. And I was like, whoa, this is dope. And then just, interacting on social media. I wasn't really big into like, Twitter, like doing a lot of Twitter stuff and all that. But if you want success, you got to be interactive with people, right? You got to talk. You got to. So I started getting more interactive on Twitter, Instagram, and all that, and got a little following. I just hit 1K, on my podcast page. That took me 7 months, and meanwhile I have my personal page that took like 10 years to get 700. But yeah, and then just networking, man. It's all networking is so important, man. And network with just so many cool people like Couch and yourself, Coach, and Jeff Hunt and Mo and all these guys, the crews and all these people. And I did a lot of shows with these guys. And I always said, I want to start my own network one day. But I'm not going to rush into it. I'm not going to rush into it. I want to do it right. I want to do it right. So let me learn. So I would see other people's, how they would do it. So I'm like, okay, all right. So like, not trying to steal ideas, but like, all right, maybe I could take that and then turning into something, my way, So I'm like, okay, I like that. Okay, I'm not gonna do it. Then I'm like, I'm not gonna do it that way. Okay, but if I do it that, like, and just learning from other people, like, and I was on a previous network for a little bit, and I learned a little bit from there. It didn't end well. they kind of did me dirty because, but that's a whole
that's
nother
sometimes
story.
the reason and way that you start your own.
Yeah, they kind of did me dirty. They just just not, they didn't communicate, which is something I'm not big like you know how I am, coach, like
Right.
communication. We always communicate everything, right?
Exactly.
So it was the communication, and then like they shut me out, and I was like, okay, I'm your top content creator, and yet you just shut me out. But that's okay, that's fun. So I learned, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be that type of head honcho if I ever get that. So
right.
I once that happened, I was getting offers to join networks off the like, and I'm like, okay. I was like, but you know what? I want to do my own. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. And so I said, I have to have a good group of people around me, right? Because you can't do it by yourself. I can't do it by myself. You need a good team. It's like anything. You need a good team. So I asked Jeff and Mo, I'm like, guys, you want to do this? Like, I'm gonna start it. It's like, but y'all gonna be my right hand guys. They're like, let's do it. And it was just at it. And so we said, like, it took maybe a few weeks to get the site up and making sure we got the look of it, how we're going to present it, who's going to be a part of it, and all that stuff, how we're going to set up the shows and all that. Because we still got a whole bunch of ideas that we still got in the lab. And we just went about it and we just said, let's do it. And we worked on it for a little bit, for a few weeks, and then we finally launched, and it was stressful. It was stressful, getting to there. But once we got there, it was great because it's, and then recruiting guys, coach, you came aboard. You've been someone who's following me for a little bit, so I appreciate that. So I appreciated that you wanted to be a part of this. First of all, you were a fan of mine, which is crazy to think that anyone would be a fan. Like, I'm just a regular dude who works has a family.
I know that's right, but look what you're doing though.
It feels cool that people like the stuff I do, which is greatly appreciated. But to get you aboard, and we got a good crew here at Off the Ball Network. We definitely got a good crew. We've done some shows, and we've done some good shows where we got some for a startup. We did that. We did that lottery show, and
but that was a good time too.
Right? We had a good time. And that's another thing is like everyone's here to help each other, right? It's not about like, all right, it's just me and I'm gonna take all the credit for everything, right? I make sure I plug your show. If you got to show up, I'm posting it, I'm retweeting it, I'm making sure other people, it's all love, right? We all try to help each other out. That's what it's about.
Exactly.
So it's been fun so far. We still have a lot more work to do. We still got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of more things, like I said, in the lab that we got cooking, but man, it's been fun so far. But like I said, I can't do it without the crew, the Off the Ball crew. So, man, it's going good so far. So I'm excited about the future. Right
on. Now, before I ask you your next question, do you notice the surrounding? My show didn't used to look like this.
Uh-huh.
This is your influence. You know what I mean? So again, as you said, mentor, mentee. That's what it is. I liked the style of what you guys did. So I was like, okay, let me investigate a little bit. And now we have the live element where I used to do a taped show. And now I got my brother with me. So again, appreciate
beautiful thing, right? That's a beautiful thing, right? We're just trying to be great, right? We all want to be great. Well, one day this is gonna take off, and
this is NFL Network right
here. It's gonna be a beautiful thing when we make it, bro.
Yes, sir. So before we get you out of here, I want to know, because you talked about prospects. You had a great post earlier on Twitter about prospects. So what's your take on this year's crop of the NBA prospects?
I mean, it's tough. It's tough to really get a full grasp of it because there was no conference tournaments. There was no March Madness, and we literally have a 6-month gap between any games being played in college, or some of these kids are prep school and overseas. I mean, we don't have. I mean, I think Danny Avita just recently played maybe like a month or so ago, but that's pretty much it. So for a lot of these, the kids domestically, they haven't played for a long time, and in the drafts and November 18th. I just got up on the
Yeah,
board.
November 18th.
So just think about it. You're going to go from March to April. That's going to be 8 months without anything. And there's no Chicago pre-draft camp. There's no individual workouts where you can, teams can have you in the facility and do workouts, and you can get a grasp of where guys are going to go, who likes who. We don't know. That's what's crazy. Like, I don't know who's going to be the first pick. Like, I don't even have a feeling of who's going to go number one. I think it's going to be Anthony Edwards, but
really?
I don't know. I don't know what the Timberwolves are thinking because they don't even know what they're thinking.
Because everyone is screaming LaMelo, but I think that's just the sexy pick.
It's the sexy pick, and it's the pick it's the player everyone knows, right? We know LaMelo for how long, right? We've known him for years, right? Because Daddy,
my son's the greatest sons in the history of sons.
We've known him big baller brand. We've known him for a minute, so so we have that name. We know about him because he's been around forever, right? It feels like he's been around for a decade already, and he's only 19, 20 years old. So, but this draft, it's tough. It's tough because you find yourself nitpicking now because you had so much time to evaluate these guys. So now guys can over evaluate and overcompensate for be like, all right, I'll move this guy up just to move him up, or move him down just to move him down because
really.
Oh yeah, it's just because you just don't know because for the most part, most people have their evaluation set. Like there's no film, so you can't really do much. You can't really find you can't move him there, but it's pretty much set in stone. Whatever evaluations you had, whatever scouting you did in the last 2-3 months is probably the same. It's going to be the same. There's not much that's going to change. So, it's a tough class, but there's not a lot of. It's not. I wouldn't say this is a weak class because a lot of people say this is a weak class. There's not a lot of blue chippers. I don't see that
serviceable depth.
It's a very deep draft. You're going to get a lot of guys that are going to be in the league 10 years that are going to be a part of
like game changers.
There's not a lot of guys, if any, that are like true blue chippers where you're like, okay, they're going to be a perennial all-star, right? You think Anthony Edwards because he has the physical talents to be that, he could be that person. LaMelo, he has the potential to be that guy. Wiseman has the potential.
Pedigree,
yeah. Isaac Okoro. I just talked to him on a show today. He's someone that I wasn't crazy about at first because of the shooting, but when I dove into him today, I watched him. I was like, you know what? If he goes to the Warriors at 2, just think he goes to play with Curry and Klay Thompson. He can learn how to shoot real quick, and that's literally what he's missing.
I mean, the shooting drills in that practice is probably nuts. So with him is he's a tremendous slasher. He's super athletic, and his defense is on point. He's the best on-ball defender in the draft. He's a physical, he'll get in you, which is that's a special. So if the only thing he really needs to work on is just some of his mechanics on shooting, because he seems like he flares his elbows a little bit when he shoot, being a better shot creator. He goes to a situation like the Warriors, there's no pressure on him. They say, hey, there's not gonna be a pressure, and they could just ease him in because that's already a championship pedigree team. So that's a guy who I think has a lot of potential to be someone good if he could figure out the shooting aspect. But this draft it's tough. It's tough. There's not this, but it's a deep draft as far as you're going to get some good role players that could be a part of some championship level teams, because the depth in this draft is really good. Just there's not a lot of blue chippers. That's pretty much it. All right. Well, I do appreciate you swinging by to hang out on the corner with us on the inaugural first episode.
Yes,
it's a little rough, but ladies and gentlemen, this is going to get hotter and hotter every week.
Of course,
no doubt.
Of course,
but we would definitely like to have you back closer to draft, maybe a couple of times to help the audience walk through it, and maybe they've put a pin in certain players, and this way we can help guide them through their draft.
I'm here, bro. I'm here for that. So anytime.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. Have a great one. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back after this commercial break.
Take care.
Boba Fett, Han Solo, and Chewbacca are George Lucas's new film, The Good, the Bad, and the Wookiee. Produced and directed by Dave Filoni. Coming soon to Disney Plus.
I like this. Hey, but that was great knowledge dropped by Christopher Brown. Definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Especially because there's a lot of uncertainty about what's going down with the prospects. Because, like you said, there was no round of 64. There was none of the normal ways that even us as regular folks see these kids coming out. Because we don't always watch every single college game. So, and college games got cut off. So again,
true.
It's going to be really interesting. And remember, y'all, the draft is November 18th. And next week, actually, before we jump into anything else, next week we've got Be Love from JVC Force from the hit song Strong Island coming on board to come chop it up with us and talk some hip hop and some sports next week. And week after that, we got the dean of the Knicks Film School, John Macri, in the building. Exciting stuff. And I can't wait to have these folk in. I'm telling you, keep sticking around.
Yeah. It's going to be real exciting, y'all.
Yes, sir. All right, so let's get to our favorite segment of the day. All right, y'all. So Lou and I in post-production, we were talking like last week, as a matter of fact, what kind of top 10, top 15 would be the first fun one to jump out? So we wanted to do something a little bit difficult, but also something that paid homage to those who came before us, paid homage to the culture. And what better way to pay homage to the culture than start off with the top 15 DJs of all time? Yeah. All right.
Go.
MC Mr. Lewis, hit me with your list. 15 to, 15 to 6, and then stop for the last 5. How about that?
All right. Well, I didn't put mine in order of favorite. I put mine in the order of the timeline I became aware of them, but it still kind of lines up. All right. I'm going to go from latest to earliest. DJ Clue, DJ Magic Mike. yeah, the mixtape god. DJ Magic Mike, bass music pioneer for the South, straight out of representing Miami. Kid Capri. Y'all know, all the fans that watched Def Comedy Jam back in the 90s and early 2000s. And if you follow him on IG, he always on live mixing and giving y'all new music and stuff he's working on. DJ Premier, that's like a staple in the hip hop community. Like, if you're not a fan of Primo, then what are you doing? Spinderella.
Okay.
Yes, I had to add her to the list. There were a lot of people I had on the list. I had well over 15. I had to narrow them down real hard, and I wanted to be sure I included women into this as well.
Okay, good one.
Yeah. Next one, DJ Scratch.
Okay, EPMD.
Yeah, enough said with that one. Eric B.
Okay.
Terminator X.
Yeah. Man, I love that shit.
Yo. But then, the creator of the Transformer Scratch. West Philly's own. Yes. DJ Jazzy Jeff. Repping my hood, the 215. Yeah, PA in the building.
Indeed.
The late, great Jam Master Jay.
Queen's finest.
Oh, my bad. I did one too many. Let me stop right there, and then I give y'all the rest. Please, Coach Fi, take over. Let me show me what you got, sir.
Well, all righty then. I think I shall grace you with my paper. All right. Big shouts to the Dirty South, DJ Screw,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Then I got DJ Qbert,
Okay. Okay.
and I got a toss up between Tony Touch, aka Tony Toca.
Hello, caballo.
Yes, sir. And DJ Jazzy Joyce.
Oh, ooh,
Yeah, right?
yeah, yeah.
And
Okay,
next up on that one, next after I have them is also your DJ Scratch. I'm with you there.
right.
But then I got one I didn't hear from you yet. I got DJ Honda out of Japan.
Okay,
Ichiban.
yeah.
Then I got DJ Green Lantern.
Okay,
Then I
okay.
got D Nice.
Of course,
Then
of
I
course.
got Premier, Pete Rock, and DJ Red Alert.
Oh, yes, sir. Cool DJ Red Alert.
Yo,
Guy
I'm
right
talking,
there.
yo. I used to have the cassette tape up to the radio speaker, man, just recording as much of that as I could as a kid.
All
But
right. Yeah.
yo,
For me,
the goosebumps.
growing up as an army brat, like a lot of it I didn't get familiar with until my dad, he had a bunch of his, we called them New York tapes back in the day. And it was like a bunch of mixtapes with DJs. And I was just hearing all this music and it was just blowing my mind. And I was like, yo, what is this? I love it. And I mean, I already seen Beat Street. And so I already had an idea of what hip hop was. And I was already in love with the culture.
Classic.
But when I
Yes,
got in
sir.
depth with the music, it really solidified it for me. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Red Alert, he was a part of that experience for me.
Yes, sir. Those are the good times. All right,
Yes,
so
sir.
who's your top five?
Oh, all right. Well, DJ Red Alert, Grandmaster D from Houdini, the legendary
Okay.
Houdini,
The legendary Houdini.
Grandmaster Flash,
Of course.
the master. Grand Wizard Theodore, the inventor of the scratch, of course.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And I can't forget Grandmaster Flash, the inventor of the fader, because he was an electrician in his day job before he was
Yes,
moving
sir.
up with hip hop stuff. He created a little, so for all the DJs that's mixing back and forth, thank the Grandmaster for that. And of course, none other than the father, the creator of this, DJ Cool Hercules. Salute, sir. Without you, we wouldn't be doing this.
At all. At all. That's a dope list.
Thank you, sir.
I like that list. I like that list a lot.
Appreciate it.
All right, my top five are literally what I consider to be the Mount Rushmore of DJs in hip hop.
Okay.
Starting with Brooklyn's own Grandmaster Flowers.
Oh, rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Passed away in '92, man. That's probably why a lot of folk don't know him, so that's why I had to make sure he's on this list. He's
all right.
Then right behind him, Grand Wizard Theodore. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And mind y'all, he invented that when he was 12 years old.
Exactly. Following behind Africa Bambaataa now. After the Black Spades. But we'll get to that down the road. Yeah, we know our history.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
all right,
indeed.
now I got a guy that was on your list, but I have him in my like I said, in my Mount Rushmore. And that is DJ Jazzy Jeff. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. The Transformer scratch led into the Crab scratch, and I mean his innovations.
Oh, yeah.
Whew. So then I have the final two. The Grandmaster Flash and the Cool Herc.
Yes.
Ichiban.
and he still be on IG Live mixing too. It's like, to me, I'll be kind of disappointed he don't get as much viewership as others. 'Cause I'm like, the creator, he can't get more
Right.
love than this.
The original party rocker is on IG doing this thing. You gotta give him his flowers.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't want to hear he was the greatest when he's gone. No, just tell him now. He right down there. He down the street.
Exactly. Word. I just got
He's waiting to hear from you.
that you mentioned that, like, before we tuned in, before we started getting ready for the show, I was listening to the What Had Happened Was podcast, Open Mike Eagle, where he talks about the career of Prince Paul.
Okay.
And I was like, we absolutely need more podcasts like this to give the hip hop OGs they flowers while they're here, and they can, from their mouths, tell this generation, what they did and the stories that are not being told about how this culture and all that was put together.
Exactly. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I'm having we're having Be Love come next week to do just that.
Yes, absolutely. I hope
stories.
we can contribute to that as well. Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. So again, that's what this wonderful show is about, man. We keep it Candid, we keep it hip hop, we keep it true, and we keeping the spirit alive, baby. It's alive.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So I hope you guys enjoyed that segment, and we will be right back with
Two brothers chopping it up.
I feel like we should have dubs or something like that for that.
Yeah, some little drums in the background or something.
You know what I mean? Just go ride with some pop or something. Two brothers chopping it up. All right, so Mr. Lewis, my brother,
Yes.
What are we chopping it up about this week?
This week, I was just going to talk about some music I've been discovering over the past week.
All right.
I stay on my music. You know me. A few things, some a few genres, some hip hop, some dancehall, some jazz, some R&B. But I'm checking out this new Hamilton's joint, this Hamilton's EP. Really liking that joint.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad the brothers finally got their little solo joint, because for a while it was a little mysterious after Mr. Hamilton no longer needed their services, as whether or not we were going to ever hear from them again sonically. So it's good to see them brothers doing their thing. Buju Banton, he's still keeping that flow going. He hitting the industry like Mike Tyson right now. He even hit the ground running since he got home. Yeah. You know what I mean? He dropped singles for the Bad Boys 3 joint. He dropped the new album, and now he got the EP of remixes for Blessed. It's called Blessed More Blessed. He got that joint. Skip Marley got his EP out. It's going nice. And speaking of the Marley family, Stephen Marley, his new album is out. Been checking that out. I dig that.
All right.
Out of the Griselda project, Conway the Machine. I'm digging that.
That's what I was about to say, man. That's where I'm jumping in at, because big shouts to my cousin Jason Bennett. Jason known me ever. He know how deep I am with hip hop. He came by maybe a couple of weeks ago, and we were chopping it up. He was talking about state of hip hop, and he was highly disappointed. And I get what he's saying, you know what I mean? But we found these gems, and we started talking about these gems, man. Like Rhapsody, and I hit him with that, and he was like, "Yo," I even threw him some joints because he wasn't familiar, and he loved that. Then he looked at me, and was like, "Yo, what about Westside Gun? What about Conway?" I said, "You know what? I know the names, but I haven't really." So I went,
Yeah. They're like the next generation of Wu to me, you know what I mean?
It's like they got Wu, they got MOP vibes, they got Nori,
Mobb Deep, CNN, yeah. They got that.
Vibe,
they got that energy, and they capture it, and you could tell it doesn't feel fake or like they just trying to get old heads to listen.
And then beats sound like concrete bricks. Just take this one. Take this one. Take this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I still can't play it around the kids though, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what's funny? As deep as and dude, from Woo, from Boot Camp Clip, both Boot Camp Clips. I mean, you and I especially from Black Otis Clan family. What up? Dude, all these years, you know me about music. You know my son don't like hip hop.
Wow.
And he don't like it because of all the cussing in it. I raised him to not like cuss words and stuff. And he's 13 years old, and I can't get him to listen to none of it now. I'm like, no, but it's still hip hop. No. He'd be listening to like anime soundtracks. I'm like, well, ain't no cussing in it.
Yeah, a lot of them young cats be into
He ain't gonna go through puberty sonically through that.
But you never know. As he matures, he'll begin to appreciate it, I'm sure.
Well, he likes the old stuff, thankfully. The Run DMCs, the Jungle Brothers, Tribe. He likes that.
Everybody got street.
And it's weird because I grew up street, but my son grew up suburban. And it's like, good job, Dad, but what the heck did you do
that? Yeah, I kind of, growing up as an Army brat, I kind of had a glimpse of both worlds. Like, back to civilian life was, growing up in the hood, the struggle. And then the military world, it was kind of like, the suburban, like Bel Air life without the money. You know what I mean? We had like, military families, especially overseas, we get treated like royalty or damn near. But yeah, we don't get that royal type of money.
No.
Older family pay. So yeah,
the house. Here you go. We gave you a house. We gave you clothes. We gave you some food. Go to mess hall. You don't get no money.
Yeah. Which I used to have to explain to my family all the time when I come back. We come back to visit. Like, yo, we not rich like y'all think. No, we're not. They always
we're not balling, bro. But you just came back
military family, all that money. Like, oh, what money?
You just came back from Korea. Yeah, with a gun.
And a rucksack. And a boot in my behind. That's all I got.
I had to get up early. I didn't want to get up early. I had to get up early.
Yeah. And like I was over there vacationing, making music videos and such.
You know what I mean? Balling from Itaewon. No.
Yeah. No, it's like, no, that's one of the hardest jobs you will ever do in your life. Like, we ain't got no time for all that extraness. And it's for less pay than what you would get hourly as a civilian.
Dude, civilians could not do that job because as soon as they found out how much they get paid, they were what?
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on. You can't talk to me like that for $4 an hour, bro. Oh, if y'all haven't guessed, we're both veterans as well. He's not just a military brat; he's also military.
Yes,
but at least former military.
Yes. A disabled veteran as well, member of the DAV. Just got to finish paying my dues.
From all that breakdancing you was doing in them clubs in Korea.
Yeah.
Oh, big shouts to Jack.
Yeah, also Negro. That's my brother, man. That guy.
Yo, his suicide flips in the club used to literally bring the house down or at least shake the walls like every time.
I wonder how he feeling now when he wake up in the morning because he used to get them grounds hard and he'd be hurting the next day back then.
Y'all don't understand. We called him Black Bear for a reason. He's a big dude. He's a big brother. I mean,
he was about 6'2", 6'3", about 250, 260. And out there, house techno dancing.
Bro, with Tim's on.
Yeah.
Swinging that leg like he about to kill somebody.
Yeah, flipping and all like he a 10-year-old boy on the mattress.
And he wasn't. And that club would.
Yeah. One time the DJ literally. Remember that time the DJ literally stopped the music and ran over there to see if he was okay? And he just jumped back up like nothing happened. Like, oh, where'd the music go?
I was on beat.
This guy is a special edition right here.
Indeed. Oh, the memories. Oh, so yes, y'all, we're gonna be reminiscing like that throughout the season. So you're gonna catch some wild anecdotes.
Yeah, we
Enjoy
got
them.
stories.
Yeah. We got stories we can't air. We might have to do just like a mixed cloud podcast. We just talking.
Mm.
So nobody can see our face when we
Yeah, a
actually
little
telling
after
these
hours for the grown up.
exactly.
Yeah.
A little hot box or something. All right, y'all. So great first show. We're gonna end it off a little bit early tonight, but this is what it's gonna be. Bigger and better versions of this.
One thing before we go, I want to take this time to dedicate this season to a fellow Steeler gang member, high school friend of mine, Malia. She passed away earlier this year, and it's 2020. It's been that kind of year, and she was a diehard Steelers fan, and she went hard. She always supported us, even with the UVR thing, and she's always been riding for us hard. And I really, want to dedicate this to her and let her know that she'll never be forgotten. And we love you, and God bless your family and your children. And that's how we're gonna do it. Malia Netta Hicks, God bless you. This season is for you, love.
And on that note, we'll see you guys next week. B Love is in the building. Mr. Lewis in the building. Coach Fowl will be in the building. And we'll talk to y'all later.
Good night, y'all.
You want to talk sports. You want to talk basketball, football, baseball, wrestling, UFC, boxing. You want to talk sports. You want to talk music. You want to talk hip-hop. Real hip-hop. Classic hip-hop. The history and the culture of hip-hop. And you want to talk candidly. You want to hear the real. You want us to keep it 100. You are in the right place. Welcome to the Candid Coach. Starring your man Coach Farr and your man Mr. Lewis. Bringing it to you real, bringing it to you right. Sit back, strap in, comment, get busy, baby.